with a dear friend in Hopkins, which is a little town in the mainland, and she told me like, "You're becoming a legend, Anna," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" You know, I went to buy fish the other day, and they were talking about the crazy pig lady. And she told me that they were like the six fishermen. They were kind of like, how do you say, daring each other to go to the island.
I dare you to go on.
And try to charm the crazy pig lady. And they were all saying like,
No
"No
way.
man, like that bitch is gonna cut my balls off. Like, I can't do it. You go." And they were all terrified of the crazy pig lady.
Oh my goodness.
I told her, man, it worked. And it did, because like after 7 months there, no one showed up. No one would show up there.
So much for advertising that island for tourism.
It was the crazy pig lady. And while I was chasing them, you know, and screaming and going, "Rah!" that would really like heighten the pig up, you know.
Oh, the
like,
pig would come running too?
Yeah, like he would be like, "What's going on?" And he was also territorial.
So he was chasing the fisherman
yeah,
too.
And so between like me and the fisherman, the pig would say like, "Well, you've been here longer, that's the enemy now." And so he would be like with me,
He got
chasing the people, and then he would be like going "Arr, arr, arr," to them. And so while I was going, it was good.
both of you were
like,
chasing the fish.
"I'm gonna chop your balls off and feed them to my pig." And the pig was right behind.
Oh my goodness, this story's
It
getting
was
better.
the best security
Oh my
system I
goodness.
could hope for. It didn't do anything with the sharks though. Like I would be swimming back, and I would sometimes just not take the kayak because I just didn't want people to see a little kayak floating out and in and out and in. And I said like, "No man, I'm just, you know, if I'm swimming, no one's gonna know I'm there, or that I left," because that was also an issue. And so I would just like when I would catch a fish, I would hang the spear and I would have a line like maybe 10 meters behind me. You want that to be far away from your body, because if a shark comes, it's gonna come quick and it's gonna come for the fish. And if the fish is near your body, it might take a bite of your body, not because it wants to, but because the fish is there.
Close.
And so I would leave it like 10 meters behind. And I would be swimming, looking back at my fish, swimming, looking back at my fish, still there. And then sometimes I would be swimming, looking back at my fish, and then there's a shark there. And so when I would see that, like the first couple of times, I would basically just let loose of the line, right?
Let the shark have
And
it.
then like I would grab it with my hand
Oh, okay.
because I wanted to keep the spear.
Yeah.
But then I could just like throw the fish, and the shark would just grab the fish and go, and then I would go hungry. But then a couple of times it happened that, you know, after a couple of bad weather days that you haven't had protein for a few days, just kind of like, you know, you see a shark coming for your fish and you're like, "Okay, man, like I really want my fish this time. Like I don't really want to let it go."
Get your own fish.
And I had like read online, you know, like what to do for sharks and la la la. And what they say is that, look, sharks are territorial and they are aggressive. And so if you show them that you're territorial and that you are aggressive, they will back off because they see you like similar size, like you're not a prey to them. Most of them, right? Except like tiger sharks, and they're the exceptions. But so what they said that I had to do was swim towards the shark with the fish as the shark is coming towards you. And so you're seeing a shark swimming towards you, and you have to have like the instinct of going like, when everything in your body and your mind is telling you go the other way, you're like, okay, I'm going to swim towards the shark with an angry look on my face.
Same thing you did with the fisherman.
Same thing I do with the fisherman.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm gonna cut your balls
I'm
off.
going to cut this thing. And I only honestly had the courage to do that once, and it was out of pure hunger. Like pure hunger that I said, and I had this nice mackerel, nice big mackerel, and I love doing smoked fish. A lot of the fish I hunted, I had made like a little smoker with coconut husks, which taste amazing. And so I would smoke it, and that would make the fish last a few days. And so I had this nice big mackerel that I knew was like a week's worth of food. And I said, no, this time I'm swimming towards the freaking fish. And I had the fish behind me, and I just started like swimming towards the fish. And I'm thinking like, man, is this how I go? Is this how I go? And the sharks don't stop. They keep going towards you.
It's a competition. Who's the alpha?
Who's going to be the first one to swerve?
Who's gonna blink?
Who's gonna blink?
And the thing that they told me is that whatever you do, don't be the first one to turn.
Yeah.
Like once you start swimming, do not. Like once you decide you're gonna do that, you need to keep doing it. And it was the most terrifying thing ever, because you see the shark coming and you're just swimming towards it, and everything in yourself is telling you, stop and turn around, stop and turn around. And the shark is not turning, and the shark is not turning, and then it comes up to like half a meter from you, and you have this big like 2.5 meter black tip shark. And then at the very last moment where you're thinking like, well, this is where he opens his mouth and devours me completely, he just goes away. Wow. Like that. And he doesn't even look back. He just and he swims away.
And you get to keep the fish.
You get to keep the fish. But
You won.
I was just shaking. Like I think like all of the water around me looked like a jacuzzi, because I was just like
Wow.
And then I still had to swim.
You still had a
2 kilometers.
2 kilometer swim home.
To get back to the island. And I was like, what if he comes back? What if he comes back? So I think it was the quickest 2 kilometers I did.
Wow.
But you had fish for a week.
But I had fish for a week.
Right.
Wow. Okay, so what did your family think about you living on this island alone for so long? Like, as a mom, I think, like, oh my God.
Did you tell your mom this shark story?
Yeah, they know.
After.
You know, like the thing is that
Everything else
I've done several,
crazy.
say, I don't like to say crazy, but unexpected adventures. I've ridden a motorcycle through South America, and I took a boat through the Ganges in India, and bicycling through the Balkans, and I did
that was more dangerous than the shark.
I'm not sure.
I'm from the
but-
Balkans, I know.